Hello, and welcome to this week's PennEnergy News Update. I'm Hilton Price. A buildup of gas ignited by a faulty electrical system is being blamed for the deadly blast at the Mexico City headquarters of Pemex on January 31st. Mexico's Attorney General says a team of investigators have not found evidence of explosives, furthering the theory the blast was accidental. 37 people were killed on January 31st in the blast and ensuing collapse, caused by the explosion literally lifting floors of the building above the blast site. That caused them to subsequently collapse. Bodies were pulled from the rubble in the days that followed, including 3 as recently as this past weekend. More than 120 people were injured. The Pemex office complex incorporates several buildings and hosts more than 10,000 workers and visitors each day. America's revolution in oil and natural gas development has spurred economic growth and new job creation while turning the nation into an energy superpower, according to the executive director of API's New York State Petroleum Council, Karen Moreau. She recently told reporters the U.S. has the ability to realign the energy axis toward the West, with America leading the way. Moreau cited the past few years where trends of energy production dominance have recently turned in the country's favor. Moreau says if opportunities are now seized regarding taxes, regulations, and access, the U.S. may have the ability to lead on energy for decades. New proposed legislation would fast-track exports of liquefied natural gas to countries who are members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and Japan. Currently, the law requires the Secretary of Energy to sign off on exports with other nations that have a free trade agreement with the United States and initiate a comment period on exports to countries who do not have a free trade agreement. If passed, however, the new bill would allow the government to skip the comment period for exports to NATO countries and to Japan. It would also mean the government could skip the step for all other countries if the Secretaries of State and Defense agree the move would be in the best security interest of the United States. Wyoming will now require all oil and natural gas workers to wear fire-resistant clothing when within 75 feet of a drilling site. The new state rule was announced by the Wyoming Occupational Safety and Health Administration on February 4th. The rule, originally proposed in August, drew a mixed reaction from those in the oil and gas industry. Some said the rule would be easy to follow since many operators already required their workers to wear the clothing. Others said they would rather only use the special clothing on an as-needed basis. Crude oil and petroleum products accounted for more than 30% of rail deliveries in 2012, a more than 25% increase from 2009 levels. The petroleum industry was responsible for the majority of the growth in rail deliveries throughout the last year. For instance, production from the Bakken Shale in North Dakota is exceeding the capacity of the regional pipeline that is supposed to transport petroleum to refineries. As a result, energy companies are being forced to look for alternative methods of delivery, such as rail. Thank you for joining us this week. For these stories and many more, head to PennEnergy.com.